Hello, dear students of the 6th elementary grade, and welcome to a new episode of our program. It's time for science, and on this episode we'll be discussing and explaining lesson 1 of unit 3, oxygen gas, with our teacher of science, Mr. Nader Nassim. Hello, Mr. Nader.
Hello, thank you.
How is everything?
Everything is right.
Great. All right, Mr. Nader, we're moving to a new unit, and it seems to me a very interesting one, actually. We'll be talking about gases and atmosphere and everything related to, this is, I heard a very interesting saying that we here in life, we are travelers, all right? And our journey is to discover, the universe. And this journey, all right, that we are discovering, we call it science.
Yeah, the journey of discovering is called science.
Right.
As you said, it's right, that's okay. I agree with you. Okay. So our journey in life is science. رحلتنا في الحياة هي العلوم أو هي science. So today we will have a short journey in a short trip to atmosphere. Okay.
Or voyage.
Voyage. Okay. Voyage means sea trip. Okay.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily sea. Okay. So today you will study the atmosphere. Unit 3, the atmosphere. At first, we have studied 2 units before. We have studied unit 1 about mass and weight. درسنا unit 1 عن الماس والweight, and we differentiated between each one of them. Okay? Can you remind me, Mr. Yasser, what's the difference? What's the main difference between them?
Mass and weight?
I think there is one of them that doesn't change.
Mass doesn't change.
Mass doesn't change, but weight changes.
Weight
changes. Because weight depends on the mass of the body, the place of the body, the attraction force that attracts the body, and so on.
No matter where we go, our mass is the same.
Yeah, mass is the same. Mass doesn't change. Mass doesn't depend on place. Mass is fixed or constant value. Mass قيمة ثابتة ما بتتغيرش. Imagine that your mass here on the earth equal 70 kilogram. Okay? Your mass will be 70 kilogram too on
any other planet.
Any other. 70 kilogram anywhere. 70 kilogram on the moon, on Jupiter, 70 kilogram on Mercury, on the sun. If we imagine that, لو تخيلنا ذلك يعني. Okay? Also we have studied unit 2 about temperature and heat, or temperature and heat. Okay? Yeah. We have studied 2 lessons in this unit. We have studied first lesson about conduction of heat. And we have classified the materials into 2 types, which are good conductor of heat and the bad conductors of heat. Okay? Can you give me some examples, Mr. Yasser, for good conductors of heat?
Good conductors of heat.
Such as metals.
Like metals, for example.
Like iron, like copper, aluminum, gold, silver, nickel, and so on. So what about bad conductors of heat?
We like have glass, like wood.
Glass, wood, plastic. Okay. Plastic. But you weren't convenient in this episode.
Yeah, because as I told you before, when you touch a hot glass, all right. You feel hotness.
You feel hot. So we call them bad conductor. احنا سميناهم bad conductor مش insulator. عشان كده ان شاء الله الترم الجاي هيدرس insulator of electricity. يعني في عازل للحرارة لكن ما فيش عازل تماما للهيت.
Yeah.
Okay? And also we have studied lesson 2 in unit 2, which about measuring temperature. And we have studied in this lesson 2 types of thermometer, which are Celsius 1 and medical 1. And Celsius thermometer begins with 0 Celsius and ends at 100 Celsius. Okay? Can you remind me the scale of medical thermometer?
35 to 42.
Yeah, 35 to 42. Why? Why those 2 degrees?
Because if it's less than 35, it means
death.
The person is dead.
Yeah.
And the same happens when it's 42.
Yeah, 42 means death. 35 means also death. Okay? Because the normal temperature of the human body is 37. Normal temperature of the human body is 37. Okay? And so medical thermometer begin with 35 Celsius and ends at 42 Celsius. Okay? After this introduction, or after this short revision about what we have studied in the last episodes, we will study now unit 3, which about atmosphere. In this unit we will have 3 lessons. Okay?
Yeah. First
lesson about oxygen gas. Second lesson about carbon dioxide gas. And the third lesson, the last one, will be about nitrogen gas. Okay?
Perhaps so today, oxygen is the most important.
Yeah, it's the most important gas for people or for all living organisms. Yeah. Okay? For people, animals, and the plants. So today we will study atmosphere. So What about atmosphere? We know that atmosphere or Earth is surrounded by a mixture of gases called atmosphere. So we can make a definition for atmosphere. ممكن أعمل definition للأتموسفير وأقول it's a mixture of gases that surrounds the Earth. Again, atmosphere is a mixture of gases that surround the Earth. Okay, which is called atmospheric air. Okay. Another information about atmosphere. Atmospheric air is attracted to the Earth by gravity. Imagine that, Mr. Yasser. One day you have an atmosphere. يعني في يوم كده ما لقيناش الاتموسفير. No, impossible. Yeah. Why? Because atmosphere is attracted to the Earth. Why? Because there is gravity on the Earth. Okay.
So the Earth attracted
the atmosphere for the living of or for all the living organisms.
Yeah.
Okay. So
or the atmospheric air.
Yes. All day long we will find atmosphere. We will find oxygen. Why? Because atmospheric air is attracted to the Earth by gravity. Gravity means what? Means mass or weight?
Gravity
means weight.
Weight.
Means weight. Yeah.
Why?
What?
Why?
Why? Because gravity means weight. So what's the definition of weight? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Okay. Weight is the attraction force of, or attraction force by which the body is attracted to the Earth. Okay. But mass, as we said, is the amount of matter inside the body, or the body contains. So again, atmospheric air is attracted to the Earth by gravity. Atmospheric air, الهواء الجوي, is attracted to the Earth by gravity.
Okay? Because maybe atmospheric air has no mass.
No, atmospheric air has mass because it's a matter. Yeah, it has a mass, but it has a slight mass. Okay.
Slight one.
Okay. We will study this mass هندرسها إن شاء الله بالتفصيل in secondary prep. That's called atmospheric pressure, الضغط الجوي. And this atmospheric pressure is suitable for life. مناسب جدا للحياة. يبقى الاتموسفير ليه ماس، ليه كتلة، لكن هي مش حاسس بيها قوي او مش مسببه لي تقل كبير جدا. Okay. Imagine that the atmospheric pressure on Jupiter, for example, equal 11 times at the Earth. Imagine that. So we can't live on Jupiter. Why? Because atmospheric pressure is 11 times at the Earth. Okay? So again, atmospheric air is attracted to the Earth by gravity, which means weight. Which means what? Weight. Okay. Also we have that there are large quantities of solid objects in the atmosphere, such as what? Dust, smoke, and gases. There are solid objects. معلومة غريبة شوية. مش احنا قلنا ان هو atmosphere وهو mixture of gases. طب ازاي يكون في solid objects? Like what happened when there is dust, smoke. There is dust and smoke. Those are solid particles. دي أجزاء solid صلبة لكن صغيرة جدا موجودة في الاتموسفير. Okay? So there are solid particles in the atmosphere such as dust and smoke.
How can smoke and gas be solid?
The smoke and gas be solid like what happened when the frictions occurs from the car tire. Imagine that the car tires makes a friction with the road. What happened in this case? The dust fly in the atmosphere.
Okay, dust is fine. Dust is okay. Dust is a solid matter.
Okay, but the gases carry solid matters such as carbon monoxide, such as sulfur oxide, such as nitrogen oxide. They are gases but carry some solid particles. تحمل جزيئات يعني ذرية صغيرة جدا. Okay, that's what happened when I see an old building which has a black color, like that. Imagine that you have محل كباب وكفتة مثلا beside your house. Okay, after many years, what is the color of your house? It will be it will be black.
It becomes like black, يعني out of burning, you know.
Yeah. Why? Because what? Because the gases deposit deposit some smoke or some gases on the building. Okay. So gases carry some solid particles. عشان كده بنسمي او بنقول ان الجاسس بتحمل بعض الاجزاء الصلبة. Okay. So atmosphere is always not pure. للاسف الشديد يعني is always not pure because atmosphere contains some gases and some solid particles such as dust, smoke, and gases like nitrogen oxide, carbon oxide. Carbon oxide, we have many carbon oxide like carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, and so on.
So that means that not all the air that we inhale is pure oxygen.
Sure. Surely the air we inhale is not pure at all. مش نقي على الإطلاق. Okay? We will study them in details in this unit. In lesson 1, oxygen gas. Lesson 2, carbon dioxide gas. We will study catastrophe, disasters about the atmosphere, especially in Egypt. Okay? So again, there are large quantities of solid particles such as smoke, dust, and other gases that are hanging in the atmosphere. معلقة في الهواء. Okay? Okay. Although those particles are pollutants, الأجزاء دي أو الجزيئات دي ملوثات, but they help in condensation of water vapor that causes rain or snow. يبقى على الرغم ان هي ملوثات لكن بتساعد في عملية مهمة جدا بنسميها condensation of water vapor أو تكثف بخار المية that causes rain or snow اللي بتسبب الأمطار أو الثلج في الدول الباردة خصوصا. طبعا يعني هنا في مصر يمكن ما فيش snow كتير أو ما بيحصلش إلا rarely أو scarcely نادرا. But we have rain in sometimes in winter. Okay? Okay, so what is the importance of the atmosphere to the Earth? What is the importance of atmosphere? I think I have many importances of the atmosphere.
I might say that one major importance is protection.
Is protection from what? Protection from higher temperature. Okay?
Let us say ultraviolet rays.
Yeah, ultraviolet rays. Very good, excellent, Mr. Yasser. Okay, okay, you got it. So atmosphere protect us from ultraviolet rays. Why? Because atmosphere contains a very important layer which is called ozone layer. دي طبعا مهمة جدا في الاتموسفير. إن شاء الله هدرسها بالتفصيل في بريب 2 أو ثانية إعدادي. اسمها الأوزون layer أو طبقة الأوزون. What's about ozone layer? It's a layer in the atmosphere that protects us from harmful radiations coming out from the sun. يبقى الشمس عارفين هي كويسة جدا لكن للأسف الشديد في أشعة فيها harmful ضارة شوية. What are these rays? They are called ultraviolet rays. Okay? And these rays can cause cancer. ممكن تسبب cancer to people. So what happened if these rays come to the earth? God created us and God prevented these rays from reaching the earth by what? By ozone layer. Okay? So we can say that, again, Mr. Yasser, what is the importance of atmosphere, as you said?
Yeah, I said it's for protection.
For
mainly.
protection, yeah. So we can say that it protects the earth by absorbing ultraviolet radiation coming from outer space. Okay? Again, it protects the earth by absorbing ultraviolet radiation coming from outer space. Okay, that's one importance of the atmosphere. Okay, we have many importance of atmosphere such as respiration.
It absorbs these harmful rays,
radiation, yeah,
but it doesn't block them.
No, if the ozone is completed, لو الأوزون كان كامل as God created it زي ما ربنا خلقه زمان, it will absorb and reflect all the ultraviolet. But what happened now, اللي حصل دلوقتي, in the last 50 years, I think that the ozone layer decreased. There is an erosion in the ozone layer. حصل تآكل في الأوزون. على فكرة كلمة ثقب الأوزون مش صح. أوزون جاس. والأوزون مش الجاس مش ممكن يتخرم أبدا. So we can say that it's an ozone erosion. هو تآكل في الأوزون. The thickness decreased. السمك بتاع الطبقة قل شوية. Imagine that it like that. It has a great thickness. فيها سمك كبير شوية. But what happened? The thickness decreased. Okay? السمك بتاعها قل شوية. So what happened? Some rays of ultraviolet can penetrate the atmosphere and reach the people or reach the earth and causes what happened now? Cancer. Mother is more.
Mother is more.
Okay. Okay. So again, it protects the earth by absorbing ultraviolet radiation coming out from outer space. Okay. But as we said, the ozone layer has decreased up till now. الأوزون layer قلت كتير دلوقتي عن الأول. Okay. وان شاء الله زي ما قلنا في بريب 2 عندنا ليسون مهم جدا عن الموضوع ده بالتفصيل ان ديتيلز. هعرف ازاي الاوزون كان بيتكون او ازاي ربنا خلقه يعني في البدايه وازاي بيحصل ايروجن في الاوزون وازاي احمي الاوزون من اي ايروجن تاني ممكن يحصل بعد كده. Okay?
So we can deal with this erosion.
Yeah, we can deal with this erosion and avoid this erosion or decrease this erosion as possible as.
Yeah.
Okay? So, we have another importance of atmosphere. Atmosphere, as we said, contains gases. Atmosphere contains air. And now I will ask you, Mr. Yasser, a very simple question.
What?
Do you remember, what about the air? Good conductor or bad conductor? Air?
The air?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's a good one.
No.
It's a bad one?
We said...
It's bad.
We said...
Bad conductor?
Yeah, bad conductor.
Yeah.
Okay, imagine that. The temperature of the sun at its surface is 6,000 Celsius.
Yes.
And the temperature of the earth here in summer, in very hot day, hottest day will be like 40 45, 50. So the air is a bad conductor because it doesn't conduct all the heat energy. الاير ما بيوصلش كل الحرارة، فعشان كده بقول عليه bad conductor. هتسألني تاني برضه تقول لي
But the distance makes a difference.
No, no.
No?
The distance is the transfer of temperature or transfer of heat energy doesn't depend on the distance, but depend on the radiation of heat energy.
Yeah.
Okay, as we studied in primary 4. We have studied the method of radiation in primary 4 and also we'll study them in details in prep 1 next year. Okay, مش هخش في الموضوع بقى عشان ما نضيعش وقتنا النهارده.
Alright.
Okay, عشان عندنا شغل كتير قوي النهارده. Okay, so the second importance of the atmosphere is that it adjusts the temperature. بيظبط الحرارة. Okay, so imagine that the temperature of the sun is 6,000 and temperature is here on the earth today will be 32.
Yeah.
You see the difference?
Much.
The great difference, 6,000 to 32. So air is a bad conductor, or atmosphere is a bad conductor, and it adjusts the temperature of the earth. Again, بيظبطها بالظبط كده، بيظبطها ويخليها suitable for life. عشان كده كل دي بنعتبرها يعني graces from God. نعم من ربنا, like the atmosphere, like the temperature, like the atmospheric pressure, like the gravity, as we said before.
These are all blessings.
Yeah, they are all blessings. Okay. So again, it adjusts the temperature of the Earth's surface. Okay. So now we will have a definition, a very short definition for atmosphere. تعريف صغير جدا للاتموسفير. We can say atmosphere is a mixture of gases surrounding the Earth. Atmosphere is a mixture of gases surrounding the Earth. Okay. Okay. So now, what are the gases that form the atmosphere? What are those gases? ايه الغازات الموجودة في الاتموسفير? We have studied them in primary 4.
Yeah.
And you can remind me, Mr. Yasser?
Oxygen.
Oxygen, huh?
CO2.
Carbon dioxide, CO2.
Hydrogen.
No, hydrogen is not major gas. It's found in atmosphere, but not major gas.
Yeah.
هو غاز مش رئيسي في الاتموسفير. We will call, or we will say about all the major gases, which are oxygen, carbon dioxide, and nitrogen. Nitrogen is the most abundant gas. As we have studied in primary 4, the last time primary 4, all those gases, and we will study them in details this year. Inshallah, في primary 6 عندي هدرس كل غاز بالتفصيل in one episode. Okay? So what are these gases? I think these gases, as we will see now, oxygen with the ratio of 21% or with the percentage 21, nitrogen 78%, carbon dioxide and the other gases like water vapor, argon, neon, helium, and other gases will be 1%. So can you tell me, Mr. Yasser, what is the most abundant gas? The largest ratio?
I guess it's oxygen.
No.
Not oxygen?
No. Look here, look at the table. Nitrogen gas is 78.
Yeah. Okay, so nitrogen.
Nitrogen gas is 78, but oxygen gas is the second gas, which will be 21%.
Yeah, but oxygen is the most important gas.
Oxygen is the most important gas. But you can guess why nitrogen is 78%? على فكرة السؤال ده في طالب سألهوني كويس قوي، طالب ذكي جدا، قال لي طب ليه nitrogen 78 although it's not a useful or important gas? Because nitrogen gas controls the burning processes. We know that from our previous study, oxygen gas help in burning. Okay?
Yeah.
But if oxygen gas percentage increases more up than 21%, we cannot control burning. Imagine that. You want to make a coffee. Okay? I want to make tea. Okay?
The whole house will be on fire.
The whole house will drink coffee with you. يبقى ربنا ليه خلق النيتروجين 78% to make control or to control the burning process which helped by oxygen gas. يبقى الاكسجين ما ينفعش يكتر اكتر من كده، ما ينفعش يقل اكتر من كده، لكن للاسف الشديد malheureusement again الاكسجين percentage decrease. Unfortunately oxygen percentage decrease. نسبة الأكسجين بتقل كمان يعني nowadays كتير جدا يعني. Okay, so again we have main three gases of the atmosphere which are oxygen gas 21%, nitrogen gas 78%, carbon dioxide and the other gases, the rest of gases will be 1%. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we'll have a very interesting experiment. Which means that experiment like that you will bring a trough like this or a bowl. هنجيب طبق يعني أو حوض بالشكل دوت and put a candle inside this bowl. Light it هنولعها أو هنشعلها. Pour some water, okay, and invert a cylinder over it. هقلب cylinder عليها أو cup ممكن استخدم glass cup في البيت. Okay.
So we burn the first candle.
Yeah, we burn the first candle.
Yeah.
They are the same. يعني هم نفس التجربة, but it is after that. Okay. What happened? I will see that the candle flame will turn off. Okay. Why? Because the candle will consume the oxygen gas. لأن الكاندل هتستهلك كل الأكسجين gas in the cylinder. أنا هنا عايز أعرف بالظبط قد إيه نسبة الأكسجين. يعني في أحد الطلبة سألني يا مستر ياسر قال لي أنت قلت الأكسجين 21%. قال طب هو العلماء عدوه يعني قعدوا يعد كده أكسجين 2 3 4 يعني سامبل كده. فلا هو عمل بالظبط اكسبيرمنت زي ديت. هو استخدم تراف واستخدم كاندل والكاندل عليها سلندر وفي water around the candle. Okay. What happened or what is the gas that helped in burning? إيه الغاز اللي يساعد في burning here? Oxygen. So the candle will consume the oxygen gas inside the cylinder. هتستهلك كل الأكسجين in cylinder.
And will give out?
Will give out and will turn off. Okay. So
will
what
give
happened?
out what?
Give out burning.
Yeah. CO2?
Give out CO2, but the CO2 is produced with very slight percentage. يعني هي هتستهلك الأكسجين اللي جوه السلندر. So what happened to the air inside the cylinder? It will decrease.
Yeah.
Okay. Because oxygen is consumed. يعني الأكسجين استهلك اللي جواها. Okay. So what happened to the level of water? نشوف تاني مع بعض. شوف the picture again. أنا شايف هنا في shape 1 the level of water is equal at the both sides. Inside the cylinder and outside cylinder. Okay. So what happened when the candle is put off inside the shape 2? I can see that the level of water raised. Okay. Level of water raised for what? Rises. Okay. Because oxygen is consumed. Because air decrease or doesn't change.
Yeah.
What happened? Air decrease or doesn't change here?
Decrease.
Decrease because the candle consumed. The candle took the oxygen inside the cylinder.
Yeah.
Okay. So what happened to water level? Water level increases. To what? يعني البرسنتيج هنا قد ايه بالنسبه لكل cylinder? We will calculate that percentage of the water raising will be 1/5 or will be 21%. يبقى هنا عرفنا ان نسبه الاكسجين 21% because the oxygen which is consumed by the candle was 21%. يبقى هنا الهدف من التجربه دي ان انا اعرف ان الاكسجين 21%.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, we know that the oxygen percentage in air is 21% or 1/5, 1/5 خمس حجم الهواء تقريبا. Okay. 1/5 or 1/5 or 21%. Okay. So now we will study in detail oxygen gas. Our first lesson about the gases we will study this unit or this year, oxygen gas. Oxygen gas, as we know, exists in the atmosphere or in the atmosphere in a gaseous state. Oxygen gas exists in the atmosphere in a gaseous state. هو اسمه oxygen gas. يبقى في حالة غازية. Okay. Okay. Another information about oxygen. Oxygen gas is essential for all animals and the plants' life. Oxygen gas is essential. ضروري جدا لحياة كل كائن حي.
All
animals,
creatures.
All creature. كل المخلوقات بالظبط كده. all living creatures, Mr. Yasser, okay?
Yeah. Are there dead creatures?
Because I think there
or
is
living organisms.
Living organisms, okay. Because I think there is non-living creatures, like mountains, like rivers, like sea, like heavens, and so on.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, oxygen gas is very essential for all living organisms, okay? Or for all animals and the plants' life. Okay, so oxygen gas molecule كلمة يمكن سمعناها قبل كده في primary 5 معناها الجزيء. جزيء الأكسجين contains 2 atoms which are O2. عشان أعرف فيه كام atom في المولكيول بشوف بالظبط السيمبل الخاص بالمولكيول. هو اسمه O2 يبقى فيه كام atom؟ 2 oxygen atom. Okay, so again we can say that oxygen gas molecule consists of 2 atoms of oxygen, 2 atoms of oxygen which has a symbol O2. Another information, oxygen ratio is constant. الأكسجين نسبته ثابتة. ده يعني باعتبار إن في balance توازن ما بين living organisms which are animals and plants. Oxygen is constant. Why? Although it's consumed in respiration and burning processes. Can you answer this question, Mr. Yasser?
Yeah.
Give reason. Oxygen ratio is constant. ليه الأكسجين ثابت ما بيخلصش؟ Because there is some creature that compensate this shortage in oxygen, which are
plants.
The plants, green plants is very good, Mr. Yasser, thank you. So again, we can see that oxygen ratio is constant, although it's consumed in respiration and burning processes.
And this happens through the process of photosynthesis.
Photosynthesis process, yeah.
Right.
Sure, Mr. Yasser. You are a great science teacher now.
Thank you.
Not a science pupil, okay? After 4 years of studying.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna pass this year.
You can pass this year. If you don't pass this year, I think you will not complete.
I'll go kill myself.
No. Okay, so oxygen ratio is constant, as Mr. Yarsa said, because plant compensate oxygen gas in a process called photosynthesis process. Photosynthesis process, okay? Again, يبقى ليه الأكسجين ما بيخلص أو ليه ربنا بيعوضه لنا عن طريق البلانت أو green plants, okay? So we can see that because it's compensated in photosynthesis process by green plants. Because it's compensated in photosynthesis process by green plants, sorry. Okay?
Yeah.
So, another information. Green plants, we can say that, we can call them the main source of oxygen, المصدر الرئيسي للأكسجين, as it's produced during photosynthesis process. Again, green plants are the main source of oxygen gas as as it's produced during photosynthesis process. Okay? So now, in photosynthesis process, what happened? إيه اللي بيحصل في photosynthesis process درسنا في primary 4 إن the plant take carbon dioxide from air, water and mineral salts from the soil. Again, plant take carbon dioxide from air, water and mineral salts from the soil. Also, in the presence of photovoltaic. Photovoltaic كلمة لاتيني معناها sunlight. Photovoltaic sunlight. عشان كده بنسمي البروسيس دي photosynthesis. Photosynthesis يعني البناء الضوئي. وليه اسمها كده بالعربي؟ بناء ضوئي النبات بيبني غذائه في وجود الضوء. النبات بيبني غذائه في وجود الضوء مرة تانية. Okay? So again, to produce oxygen gas and nutrients. So we can make a very important equation. ممكن نعمل equation مهمة جدا ده يا مستر ياسر. Okay? نكتب مع بعض. البلانت بياخد زي ما اتفقنا 4 main parts or 4 main materials. مواد مهمة جدا. 4 مواد مهمة جدا. Which are water plus what? Water plus carbon dioxide in the presence of sunlight, the third material, and also there must be a green matter or chlorophyll. Chlorophyll, المادة الخضراء, which is found inside the plant itself. And what is the products or what are the products? What are the products? I think there are 2 main products which are oxygen gas. يبقى النبات هينتج حاجتين مهمين جدا, oxygen gas and also nutrients or المواد الغذائية. Nutrients أو المواد الغذائية. So again, the plant take water, carbon dioxide in the presence of sunlight and with the chlorophyll matter which is found in the plant itself or the green matter which is found in the leaves or the green leaves of the plant, and they produce 2 main important things. بينتج مادتين مهمين جدا. I think they are the most essential or the most important materials for life. Oxygen gas and nutrients. الأكسجين والغذاء. أعتقد مفيش حاجة أهم من كده. يعني نتنفس وناكل. في حاجة أهم من كده يا مستر ياسر؟
Yeah.
التنفس والأكل.
Play.
To play?
Yeah.
I think playing after that. After you respire or you breathe and after you eat.
Yeah.
You can't play when you are hungry. Or you can't play when you are choking. You can't breathe. Okay?
Yeah.
If you are choking, if you can't breathe, you can't play.
Yeah.
يعني مش قادر اتنفس مش قادر العب.
I can play with my breath.
Okay, you are joking as usual. Okay, so again the plant take carbon dioxide from air, water from the soil and the mineral salts also, sure, and in the presence of sunlight or photovoltaic, and also in the presence of the green matter which is found in the plant itself, in the plant leaf, and make, I think, the most important things in the world. أهم حاجة في العالم بينتجها لنا النبات oxygen gas أو أهم حاجة بالنسبة لحياتنا الشخصية يعني. Oxygen gas and food or nutrients أو المواد الغذائية. Okay? So now we will prepare or we will know how to prepare oxygen gas. Preparation of oxygen gas. إزاي نحضر الأكسجين gas in the lab? We know that oxygen gas is found in air, okay? But how can we prepare oxygen gas in the lab? It's a very interesting experiment, okay? And we will have a short video after a while, Mr. Yasser, okay?
All right, I guess this is something that you do in the lab, right? To prepare the,
oxygen gas.
Oxygen.
Okay,
Yeah.
so now I will explain how to prepare, and after that we will show a short video about this preparation of oxygen gas.
Not now.
Okay, not now. Yeah, after a while, after I think
Okay.
3 minutes or 4 minutes. Okay, so we can prepare oxygen gas from a very common matter found in pharmacies. مادة مشهورة جدا في الصيدليات اسمها oxygen water. بالظبط، مية الأكسجين. oxygen water أو هنسميها بقى chemically hydrogen peroxide. hydrogen peroxide. Okay. hydrogen peroxide can be decomposed. ممكن تتحلل، ممكن تتفك، تديني oxygen and water. So again, we can say that hydrogen peroxide can be decomposed into oxygen and water. Okay, what happened? Okay, نرسم مع بعض رسمة مهمة جدا، واتفقنا قبل كده ان في primary 6 مش مطلوب مني ارسم في الامتحان، لكن مطلوب مني اعمل labeling بس. مطلوب مني احط بس بيانات. Okay, now I will have a flask like this. Okay, have a flask like this with a stopper with 2 holes. Okay, a stopper with 2 holes. دي كده سدادة بيها فتحتين. From one stopper or from one hole, sorry, from one hole, I will have a funnel. You know the funnel? Okay, Mr. Yasser, you know the funnel? Yeah, sure. The funnel قمع يعني with a faucet or with a tap. In this funnel we will pour hydrogen peroxide or oxygen water. يبقى هنسميها hydrogen peroxide, hydrogen peroxide أو زي ما اتفقنا oxygen water. Okay? It has 2 names, hydrogen peroxide or oxygen water. Oxygen water. Okay?
The scientific term is?
Scientific name is hydrogen peroxide.
Yeah.
But the common name or the commercial name is oxygen water. الاسم التجاري ليها مية الأكسجين. Okay? لكن الاسم العلمي hydrogen peroxide أو فوق أكسيد الهيدروجين. Okay? لو قريناها في أي مرجع باللغة العربية. Okay? So I have here a very important material which is called manganese dioxide powder. Again, manganese dioxide powder. Where is this material? I put it in the bottom of the flask. It's a black powder here. يعني powder لونه اسود هستخدمه as a catalyst. يبقى هنا بستخدمه كأنه عامل حفاز أو عامل مساعد. يعني هو ما بيدخلش في الرياكشن لكن بيساعد الرياكشن أسرع. Okay? So again, what is this black material? It's called manganese dioxide powder. Okay? Don't laugh, Mr. Yasser. It's not manga. Okay? I see you laugh. Okay. Again, it's called manganese. طب ليه بأكد على الاسم تاني؟ لأنه ساعات كتير قوي في أسئلة right wrong بيقول لي magnesium dioxide. لا، هو اسمه manganese dioxide powder. Again, اسمه العلمي تاني manganese dioxide powder. And this powder or this matter will be a catalyst. كلمة catalyst أول مرة نسمعها. Catalyst means عامل حفاز أو عامل مساعد. يعني مادة بتسرع الرياكشن أكتر. Okay? So again,
but doesn't change itself.
Doesn't change itself. Yeah, it remains without a change. بتبقى زي ما هي. يعني دخلناها في reaction. For example, مثلا 10 gram, it will go out with 10 gram. Okay, can you give me an example of the like this matter, like this catalyst? Yeah.
From life?
Yeah, from our syllabus this year. من منهجنا السنة دي.
I don't know, but I know catalyst is like a fan at the stadium, for example.
يعني زي مشجع.
Yeah, زي مشجع.
But we have studied something that doesn't change.
Something that doesn't change.
Yeah.
Mass.
Mass, very good. So catalyst is like the mass. Catalyst أو العامل حفاز زي الماس. It doesn't change. زي الكتلة بالظبط. Okay, and as you said, Mr. Yasser, it's like a fan زي المشجع. دخل الماتش مشجع وخرج برضو مشجع. It doesn't change. Okay.
عندنا في مصر change صحيح.
يعني for sorry يعني. Okay, so again, catalyst or manganese.
عندنا دخول الملعب مش زي خروجه.
It's a new proverb. مثل جديد يعني. Okay, so again, manganese dioxide powder, which acts here as a catalyst. بتتفاعل هنا كأنها catalyst أو بتخش التفاعل ده كأنها catalyst. Doesn't change itself. It's like a fan زي بالظبط مشجع بيدخل الماتش وبيطلع تاني زي ما هو مشجع بالظبط. اوكي يعني هنعديها كأنه كده يعني. Okay, so what happened here? I think here oxygen gas or oxygen water, decompose into 2 substances which are water and oxygen. Water will remain here. نرسم مع بعض. Water will remain here. So what about oxygen? Oxygen gas will go up like this. Okay? So I want to collect oxygen gas. عايز اجمع الاكسجين. فسألنا كده scientists of chemistry ازاي نجمع الاكسجين gas؟ قالوا لنا معلومة مهمة جدا ان oxygen gas scarcely dissolves in water. نادرا ما بيدوب في المية. مش بيحب المية خالص. يبقى oxygen gas scarcely dissolves in water because oxygen gas is lighter than water. Okay? So again we can have a tube like this. هناخد tube تانية بالشكل ده. okay, like this. And a great trough, or a very large trough like this, full of water, مليان بالمية, like this, okay, full of water, and an inverted cylinder like this. The cylinder at first will be full of water, okay, Mr. Yasser?
Yeah.
Okay, the cylinder will be full of water. So what happens when oxygen gas passes from here, from this tube to water? It will displace water downward. هيعمل ازاحة سفلية للمية. يعني كأنه بالظبط هيطرد المية لتحت. So after a while we will find that the tube or the cylinder will be full of oxygen gas and absent from water. يعني water تنزل تحت and leave the oxygen gas upward. So what happened here? Oxygen will displace water downward. Oxygen gas will displace water downward. Give reason, Mr. Yasser. Oxygen gas will displace water downward because we said that oxygen is scarcely dissolved in water.
Yeah.
يعني الأكسجين ما بيدوبش في المية أو نادرا بيدوب في المية. Okay? So now we return back to our explaining about how to prepare oxygen gas by decomposition of hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide, which means in science or in chemistry oxygen water, or in commercial way طريقة تجارية يعني, in the presence of a very important material, مادة مهمة جدا هنسميها manganese dioxide powder. Again بأكد قوي على اسمها manganese dioxide powder, مش magnesium, okay? Because in some questions of right and wrong it will be written like that, magnesium. No, it's wrong. It will be manganese dioxide powder, okay? And this matter acts as a catalyst. بتمثل كأنها هنا في التفاعل ده catalyst, عامل حفاز بيساعد التفاعل أسرع, لكنه ما بيتغيرش. So now we'll have a very important equation. نشوف equation مهمة جدا مع بعض للرياكشن ده. ايه اللي حصل؟ أنا شايف إن في هيدروجين بروكسايد وفي arrow, في سهم عليه كلمة manganese dioxide powder, تحتها مكتوب كلمة catalyst لأنه هو عامل حفاز, بيديني two substances which are water and oxygen gas. Water and oxygen gas. Okay.
I have a question here. You said that the atmosphere consists of gases, different gases. So when we breathe, do we take in all kinds of gases?
Yeah, we take all kinds of gases, and we have studied in primary 5.
So we breathe in nitrogen,
yeah,
oxygen,
we breathe all gases.
Everything.
Yeah, we breathe all gases. But in some organs or some organelles which are called alveoli, في أجزاء عندنا اسمها alveoli في اللنجز, في الرئتين, they make gas exchange, بيحصل فيهم تبادل غازات. They take an oxygen gas and give out carbon dioxide gas, which is produced from the body, and also the other gases like nitrogen or carbon dioxide, water vapor,
so
and the other gases.
Expels
them.
Other gases.
But if there are more pollutants, it will hurt the alveoli. هتسبب اللي بنسميه بقى كده in Arabic التهاب رئوي. Okay, because alveoli بنسميها الشعيبات الهوائية. Okay, these alveoli are very sensitive, حساسين جدا. They must breathe oxygen, they must breathe pure oxygen, because that if someone is found in not pure air, he will have inflammation of alveoli or inflammation of lungs. Okay, so now التهاب رئوي بالظبط كده. So now we return back to our image or our drawing of how to prepare oxygen. This drawing, Mr. Yasser, is very important, and in some exams the student is asked to label this drawing. الطالب بيكون مطلوب منه انه يعمل labeling للرسم ده. Okay, here as I said I have hydrogen peroxide here in the funnel, and at the bottom of the flask I have manganese dioxide powder. Also I have here a tube, connecting tube like this, and also I have water in the trough or the big bowl like this. في هنا ميه. في كمان cylinder inverted مقلوبة, and at the top of this cylinder I have oxygen gas. Why? Because oxygen displaces water downward. Again, oxygen displaces water downward. Why? Or give reason. That's a very important give reason question. Because oxygen is scarcely dissolved in water. ليه الأكسجين بيزق المية لتحت أو بيدفع المية لأسفل؟ لأن هو نادرا ما بيدوب فيها, مش بيحبها. So we can say that oxygen and the water don't mix. Okay?
Yeah.
Again, oxygen and water don't mix, or we can say that oxygen is scarcely dissolved in water. Okay? So now I will prepare a short video, Mr. Yasser, short video about how to prepare oxygen gas in the lab. Okay?
So you mean that that is why when we sometimes let us say put some oil on water, this oil floats
yeah,
on top of
yeah,
the water.
Yeah, it's like what happened here in preparation of oxygen gas. The oxygen gas float on water. Because why or because what? Because oxygen gas is scarcely dissolved in water. So now we'll see a short video about how to prepare oxygen gas. Okay, Mr. Yasser, concentrate please because this video is very fast. Here I have the flask. هنا الفلاسك اللي اتفقنا عليها. في funnel. The funnel contains, as we said, hydrogen peroxide. And here I have a tube. Look here. When he opened the faucet, لما فتح الفaucet, I can see the bubbles of oxygen gas. Okay? Look here. What happened with oxygen and water? I can see that oxygen displaces water downward. Okay? الأكسجين بيدفع المية لأسفل. ليه؟ Because oxygen is scarcely dissolved in water. Look here, Mr. Yasser, please, carefully. What happened here? I can collect oxygen gas. I can collect oxygen gas by what? By decomposition of hydrogen peroxide, which decompose into two substances, which are water and oxygen. Water and oxygen. And I can collect oxygen gas by downward displacement of water. Downward displacement of water. Again, we'll see the video again. Okay?
Yeah,
look here.
See it once again.
I have the flask here that contains manganese dioxide powder, which is a black powder. And we said that this material is a catalyst. مادة مهمة جدا اسمها manganese dioxide powder. Okay, here the reaction occurs, بيحصل التفاعل between hydrogen peroxide in the presence of manganese dioxide powder. Okay, and we can see that oxygen displaces water downward. Oxygen displaces water downward. Okay. Here I can collect نجمع بقى الأكسجين ازاي by downward displacement of water because oxygen is scarcely dissolved in water. Because oxygen is scarcely dissolved in water. Okay. Okay. So now let's return back to our lesson about oxygen gas. Okay. Nota bene here we have a very important nota bene ملاحظة مهمة جدا. Manganese dioxide powder, as we said, acts as a catalyst. هو عامل حفاز and it doesn't change before or after the reaction. It doesn't change before or after the reaction. Okay? And it remains without change in its quantities. ما بيتغيرش خالص في أي كمية منه. And the properties, so it works as a catalyst. It works as a catalyst. Okay? So we can say that oxygen gas is collected by downward displacement. تاني بنأكد على معلومة مهمة جدا. ازاي بجمع الأكسجين gas? By downward displacement of water. As oxygen replaces water in the cylinder, as oxygen scarcely dissolves in water. ليه بجمع الأكسجين عن طريق الووتر؟ Because oxygen scarcely dissolves in water. لأن الأكسجين نادرا ما بيدوب في المية. Okay? What's meant by catalyst? Definition مهمة جدا للcatalyst. Okay, can you read, Mr. Yasser?
Yeah.
I got tired today.
Yeah, it is a chemical substance that remains without any change or without a change in the in its quantity and also properties during the chemical.
So, as you said, catalyst أو العامل الحفاز is a chemical substance that remains without a change in its quantity and the properties during the chemical reaction. ما بيتغيرش ولا في أي كمية ولا في أي خواص ليه. يعني دخل التفاعل باودر يطلع باودر، دخل 10 جرام يطلع 10 جرام، دخل black powder يطلع black powder. Doesn't change. It's like a fan, as you said, Mr. Yasser, but not here in Egypt. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So, a historical hint about oxygen. نحن هنرجع عن الأكسجين. We know that oxygen was discovered in China in 800 before Christ. اكتشف أول مرة الأكسجين في الصين سنة 800 before Christ قبل الميلاد. Okay? Oxygen, or sorry, Joseph Priestley is a great scientist who rediscovered oxygen again.
1774.
In August 1774. Joseph Priestley, not Elvis Presley. Okay? Joseph Priestley rediscovered oxygen gas in August 1774. Okay? So what the scientist that gave it its name, مين سماه oxygen؟ هو على فكرة كان قبل كده يعني قبل 1778 كانوا بيسموه life gas، غاز الحياة، لكن ما كانش حد عارف يسميه oxygen gas. So Antoine Lavoisier, which is a French scientist, gave it its name oxygen gas in 1778. Okay? So properties of oxygen. What are the properties of oxygen? We know that oxygen is colorless, odorless and tasteless. الأكسجين عديم اللون، عديم الرائحة، عديم الطعم. okay? Colorless, odorless, and tasteless. Colorless, odorless, and tasteless, okay? ملوش لا لون ولا طعم ولا ريحة. Okay, another property of oxygen. Oxygen, as we said, I think it's a very important property of oxygen. Oxygen is scarcely, نادرا ما يدوب في الماء, dissolves in water. Oxygen, again, scarcely or rarely dissolves in water. Okay?
Yeah.
Another property. Oxygen has a neutral effect on litmus paper.
تأثير محايد.
بالظبط تأثير محايد
على
أو
ورق
متعادل.
عباد الشمس.
ايه ورق عباد الشمس ده يمكن أول مرة نسمع الكلمة ديت. Inside the lab. أول مرة يسمعوها بالظبط كده. Inside the lab we have two types of papers which are called litmus paper. داخل اللاب عندنا أوراق اسمها عباد الشمس. ايه حكايتها ديت؟ بفرق بينها بين two types of material which are acids، مواد بنسميها acids أو الأحماض، and alkalis القلويات. طيب ايه اللي بيحصل؟ For example, acids, if I put blue litmus paper, it will be red. But what about alkalis? Alkalis, if I put red litmus paper, it will be blue. مش موضوعنا خالص دلوقتي. So what about oxygen؟ يعني الأكسجين ممكن يغير الأحمر أو يغير الأزرق؟ No. Oxygen gas has a neutral effect. تأثير متعادل أو محايد زي ما قال مستر ياسر على عباد الشمس. Look here in the picture. صورة مهمة جدا. Here I have a red litmus paper. It doesn't change. Blue litmus paper doesn't change. So I have neutral effect of oxygen gas on blue and red litmus paper. Litmus paper ما بتغيرش خالص في الأكسجين gas. But in the next episode I think, or the episode next يعني اللي بعد اللي جاي إن شاء الله, we'll know that carbon dioxide gas has an acidic effect. تأثير حمضي يعني بيخلي البلو ريد. بيخلي البلو ريد لكن طبعا ريد زي ما هو. Okay. So again oxygen gas had a neutral effect on litmus paper. Another property of oxygen gas. Oxygen gas doesn't burn, but it helps in burning. Oxygen gas doesn't burn, but it helps in burning. And if I have time, Mr. Yasser, I will have a short video about 1 minute.
Yeah, let us take it, yeah.
Okay. Oxygen gas doesn't burn, but it helps in burning. Okay. Oxygen gas is heavier than air at الهواء as it replaces the air. بيحل محل الهواء. هو already موجود مع الهواء, mixture مع الهواء, لكن هو أتقل منه فبيترسب تحت. عشان كده الماونتين كلايمبرز بيحبوا ياخدوا cylinders of oxygen gas أو لازم ياخدوا cylinders to breathe at the top of mountain. Oxygen gas, combination with oxygen gas. Sorry, combination with oxygen gas. اتحاد مع الأكسجين. We have two types of combination which are burning and oxidation. And we know that oxygen can combine or unite directly with most elements to form oxides in two ways, which are oxidation and burning. Oxidation and burning. And now we'll see a short video. Okay, Mr. Yasser, هنشوف short video about.
Let us see this video.
Yeah.
You know, when we were talking about being a fan, you know, fan لها معنيين. ممكن تيجي مشجع, ممكن تيجي مروحة. ففي الحالتين they can be like a catalyst, because when you use a fan, you know, you do something with it, all right, but it itself doesn't change as well.
Okay, so Mr. Yasser means that fan here معناها مشجع, يعني كأنه بيعمل يزود reaction
ممكن
أكتر.
تبقى catalyst
Okay.
in my view.
So now we'll see a short video about the reaction of oxygen or the effect of oxygen gas on burning. Okay, here we'll prepare oxygen gas in simple way. Okay, look Mr. Yasser here. I use the steel wire. بيستخدم the cleansing wire with oxygen gas. Okay, so what happened or what is the effect of oxygen gas in burning? هل الأكسجين gas هيزود ال burning ولا هيقلل ال burning? Okay, look here, this is the gas of oxygen or oxygen gas. Okay, concentrate Mr. Yasser please, because it's a very short video. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so here I have oxygen gas. I have oxygen gas. Look here what happened with oxygen. I think the burning glows more.
Yeah.
So oxygen help or assist burning. Oxygen helps in burning. بيساعد في الاشتعال. Okay, oxygen help in burning. I want have a minute please. Okay, look here. He lighted a match, okay, and turned it off. What happened if I put it in oxygen gas? It will be light again. هينور مرة تانية. كأن بالضبط في burning في الأكسجين gas. Look here, the burning match will light again. Why? Because oxygen gas helps in burning. Because oxygen gas helps in burning. Okay.
Okay. We come to the end of our episode.
Okay.
I'd like to thank you very much, Mr. Nader Nassim, for your beautiful explanation of this lesson.
Thank you,
thank you very
thank
much.
you, thank you.
So that brings us to the end of this episode. Dear students of the 6th elementary grade, we've had lesson 1 of unit 3, oxygen gas, and inshallah we'll be with you next Thursday. So wait for us, and until we meet you again, we wish you all the best. Goodbye.